Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Ironis Insights. Got a special guest today, Novah Greywolf, the CEO and founder of Emerging Technology Group. Thanks for joining us, Nova.
Thank you for having me so much, Alex.
Yeah,
Pleasure.
where are you calling from today?
I am calling from Anaheim, California.
Beautiful, nice, love to hear it. Yeah, we're over in New York, as everyone knows. Anaheim, huh? So Northern California based.
So I'm actually in Southern California. So we actually do the entire state of California. It's basically our bread and butter, but we do have other territories that we offer our services into. But today I'm in Anaheim. A lot of business coming out of Los Angeles. So it's just a suburb of Los Angeles.
Yeah, nice. Perfect. Well, thanks so much for hopping on. So why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got to where you are today?
Sure. So we could go and we could start basically in college. I opened up my first business, which was in 2010, maybe 2011. I was 19, I believe, somewhere around there. And it was a cell phone repair shop. And basically, in that cell phone repair shop, I fixed any kind of electronic you had. And then I went to engineering school to basically do hardware engineering. And then I went to graduate school in data engineering. And so, pretty much, once I got into the playing field of career jobs, I was a what you call a sales engineer, which would go around and basically help all these companies with very technical applications. So, for example, Tesla, they're building their battery packs. We had to help them with their thermal applications within their battery packs. Fitbit, we had to help them with some of their reliability on their smartwatches when they were there. When Google started making their first phones, reliability testing. So all that takes like a little bit of being technical, but also being able to communicate with others, because not everybody who is in that field is technical in nature. They know what
Right.
they need and they have a very specific needs, but they don't understand the technical aspects of it at all. Um, but from there, I basically decided, well, I'm kind of done working for somebody right now. But as you know, we work for people no matter what.
Yeah.
And if you're working for yourself, you actually work for others way more. It's just thousands of them or hundreds of them instead of one guy, or one woman. And so I started my company, Emerging Technology Group, which we call ETG.ai, in
Yep.
2019. We started as a digital transformation company right before COVID started. And at this point, before COVID, digital transformation was out there, but there were very few companies doing it, and there were the larger companies, the companies that already had the money to do the digital transformation. And what digital transformation is basically automating a lot of tasks, repetitive tasks that humans would do, right? So like maybe automating emails, automating a training profile. So then somebody coming in on onboarding, there would be, a whole deck of stuff that they would go through and no human interaction unless they needed help. So we were automating things. We actually use Salesforce as uh, our main engine. So we developed on Salesforce, and then we use the CRM data from Salesforce to branch out into basically every part of your company. That was our digital transformation method. But then 2019 happened, COVID 2020 happened, and every company was into the digital transformation now. You had to be. You had to use the Zoom, you had to use the Teams, you had to use email like you
Yeah.
never had before. And so where that put me was right at the perfect space, but a little bit too small to compete with the giants that decided to
Yeah.
jump on that right away and go, okay, now Microsoft is doing digital transformation work. Okay, now Amazon is doing digital transformation work. Boom. They already have hundreds of people that can do all of these things. So it kind of left me in this liminal space of how can I compete with these larger firms, or am I going to be able to compete? And so we ended up shifting into mainly doing more hardware based stuff, so infrastructure things, so selling the servers that were going to be part of that digital transformation.
Okay.
So we kept with the digital transformation, but we embraced the hardware space. And so we were mainly in labs again, and in server rooms, and on desktops. And so we've been doing that since 2020. mainly for government and for education sectors. So a lot of the government agencies, from your municipalities to your local agencies, police stations, that kind of stuff, they all have RFQs, and you put in some of what you can do for them, and you either win or you don't. And that was a really
Right.
a breadwinner for us. It was pretty consistent work for us. Um, and now ETG, known as ETG.ai, we're moving into a full-fledged developing AI, still embedding around that digital transformation, but embedding AI in each one of those automations, each one of those steps. How could we use an AI agent? How can we create value with AI in each piece? So we still offer hardware. Cybersecurity goes with that as well. But at this point, where we're directing ourselves to is this whole new AI agent, agentic landscape, and I believe things are heading way more into that space. And companies like ours, mine and yours, who may only have a few people or a few dozen people, it's going to be extremely important to them so they can have all those working hours done without hiring somebody, which sounds terrible in some aspects, but if you're just starting out, it's extremely hard to hire. Not just the money aspect of it, but the legal aspect of it, the risk of hiring others, right? So having some agentic placement into your system allows you to, with less risk, grow your company
Yeah.
and allow yourself to actually stabilize before you actually get the crew, because you still will need all the people.
A lot of what I'm, first of all, congratulations on over 6 years now. I mean, so
Yeah,
much to unpack there. I mean, what your transformation is incredible. And getting through COVID and getting through these monsters that are diving into the same space as you and
wow.
pivoting, and you survived a lot so far. So congratulations on
Thank
that. Not only staying afloat, but continuing to invest in yourself and expand, which is incredible. Really interesting. What I'm seeing is when you're trying to hire as well, is like there's also, yeah, there's risk, but there's also such a learning curve.
you.
So you're
Yes.
hiring people that don't even know what they're doing yet. Now, I shouldn't say that's always the case, because I've spoken to a few founders that are actually basically having these, for the lack of a better word, proteges that are in
Mhm.
starting to learn these things in high school before they even go to college. But these are few and far between. It's a little bit difficult to find talent like that. So even if you have that talent, everything works differently and everything's changing every day. So yeah, hiring a human is more difficult.
It is initially. It has a lot of risk associated with it, especially if you have a place of work where they're coming into. There's just risk associated with life,
Hmm.
and and they have to sleep, eat, and do all the rest of the things as well. And you want them to have a life outside of work, but you also need your business to grow. And so
Exactly.
we have found in our business, for our business to grow, is having a hybrid of both systems. Like
Yeah.
I need people badly. We all do, but we also need the subsystems that are working 24/7 for us too.
Exactly. And what I'm seeing a lot is like you're not necessarily replacing a person with this AI chatbot or
No.
or these systems that we put in. What it is allowing your humans to do the work that they're really supposed to do and what they
Yes.
flourish at, not these busy work tasks, repetitive tasks, these workflows that really, really benefit the company, allow your company to grow with the same footprint. You don't have to hire anyone new yet.
Absolutely.
And then until you scale enough where you can get some more bodies in there, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, and it's absolutely true. There is this huge misconception in AI that AI is replacing people.
Yeah,
No, no, no. It's replacing the tasks that people shouldn't be doing.
remedial
And
tasks.
because we are precious creatures, we are intelligent beings.
I think
We
so.
don't need to be doing certain tasks over and over again. That's why people hate their job. And so I want you to come in
Yeah.
doing exactly what you love to do
Yes.
all day long, instead of you going through this paperwork that an AI agent can look over and probably do better than you anyways, because you're not really paying attention at all, or whatever it is. And then you're the decision maker. You're the one making the movement. That is where I want to place people in more of a situation of power and not necessarily in a situation of work. And
Yeah.
so that's where AI really is assisting our playing field. Solo entrepreneurs that have under 10 people, very small businesses.
Yeah.
It's so important that you realize it's not replacing people, it's allowing growth. So then you can actually onboard the right humans instead of just having paper pushers, right?
Yeah.
We all know what that is, and I've done it, and it was a
We all
terrible
have.
job.
Yeah.
I made money doing it, but it was not fun. But now we don't need to do that anymore. I could still work at a very high level, but also I don't have to do that anymore. I got things going through my emails now. I'm sifting through my emails and going, these are important, these are important, these are important. All that's probably not that important. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That to me, why would I want an office assistant going through that? They're not going to like that either.
Yeah.
So it kind of
Or
just
they're
works
not going to
perfect.
like that, and they're not going to know exactly what you want and what you don't. It doesn't
Exactly.
learn like an AI tool would.
Exactly. So I'm all in really on the AI, but I'm also in on the learning initiatives and allowing other people to be educated on it because it is not replacing your job. Actually, if you could just pick up the skill sets that enable you to work alongside AI, you will be beyond valuable in
Yes.
any workspace there is. Now you don't have to worry that your degree is in this anymore. You literally can expand into any section as long as you're going to work well with AI agents and other AI features because the learning curve is like crazy now. The ability that I have to learn a new language in like say I'm learning a new thing in Python. It used to take months.
Hmm.
Now literally in a day or two I'm like pretty efficient at it because like it's just taking me into a space where it tells me how to do certain things and it just clicks. It's like reading a book. It's just done. And I'm like, wow, how powerful that was. It's like utilize it as a skill set and gain value within yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, it's incredible, and I'm seeing it skyrocket everybody who's using and enabling it. And that's why you see a Google, that's why you see a Meta, that's why you see an Apple. They've all been using these same tools. They didn't call it AI, they called it data analytics,
Yeah.
but they've been using this stuff for probably 2 decades. We just are finally seeing it because it doesn't cost the cost to enter into that playing field isn't billions. It's not even millions. It's thousands of dollars now. And
Hmm.
so anybody with who went to a day job for a few years has a couple $1,000 now that they could spend on their own system. It's that simple.
Exactly. And that's what's out there in the world now, which is I think what we're trying to do here, talking like we are, getting that word out and seeing like who we can help.
Exactly. Yeah, the education part is very important because if to have a good economy, we're going to have a lot of entrepreneurs, small businesses. That's what the
Hmm.
government is run on. That's what the United States of America is run off. It of course Apple and Google, but they pay minimal taxes when you think about it. The people who are really paying the taxes are all the small shops. And if
Hmm.
those small shops get more market share, they'll pay more taxes, meaning that our economy will do better. And so if they don't start implementing certain things into their day to day, they will be left behind. It's like saying I don't want to do email like back in 1990s.
Exactly.
I don't want to do
Exactly.
email. And,
Exactly.
and it's like you're still going to do a fax machine. Well, I'm telling you now, look 10, 15 years ahead, any of those people, look at Sears. Sears is gone, but they were a giant. Yahoo, gone. There's like these companies that are gone that were mega, but they decided not to do it. And then you have little Amazon who decided to sell books.
Uh-huh.
Boom, look at them now. They didn't even sell their own books. They just got some good suppliers who sold books and they made a little bit of a charge on it. That's all they did.
Hmm.
And now look at them. And it's just because they used the technology that was available at the time to the best of their benefit and then built their company that way. So people like us who are going to build our companies off the technology of today who don't have this huge infrastructure like these big companies that are out there right now who it's going to take them lots of time to change into this new technology. It's going to be harder for them. But that's where people like us should be jumping in. Like,
Hmm.
yes, it's almost free now. It's
Yeah.
almost free
Yep.
to do. So it'd be kind of crazy not to at least start educating yourself a little bit on it. But I do believe everywhere I look, education's there. Like everybody's pushing the initiative. So if you don't see it right now, and if you're still trying to not be part of it, um, I wouldn't own a business right now then. I might go work for somebody and see what they're doing. So you could see the capability that it has. Because, unless you're a barber. But even barbers would have the advantage of being able to scale up and have 10 barber shops instead of you working every day of your life and trying to find some clients who just walk through your doors. Like
I think
everybody can benefit.
I think what I'm seeing, I love what you're saying. I think what I'm seeing a lot, especially with small, medium-sized businesses, is they're becoming more receptive, right? But even if they're receptive, it doesn't necessarily mean they have the skills to use the tools or know which tools to use. So what they need is some help from experts that can
Yes.
actually implement and
Yes.
and choose the right tools for them so they can flourish. But I mean, what I am seeing an increased amount of reception, less pushback, like no, I'm good. I think the wave is
Hmm.
finally catching and everyone's starting to buy in. I don't know if you're seeing that or not.
100%. So the awareness is now there. It's actually everybody's aware of it. It's like saying like I know what
No
the internet
secret.
is. It's not a secret anymore. If you're in San Francisco, probably even New York City, you're seeing the billboards. So even if you are
Hmm.
homeless on the street, you know that this is coming. You may not know what it means, but you still know that there's this huge radical shift in technology right now. Like the last one was the dot com, right? When internet like got out there. Now this is the next wave of technology, which is going to enable us even further to do better work, is the truth of it. More efficient work, easier work. Like content creation was so difficult. Like there are so many companies that were built just for content creation. They may not have a job anymore because it's the easiest thing to do now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, seriously. I mean, some of the things that my team has created just on an AI front is if it's an ad or a video, it looks absolutely real. And we've all seen it on Instagram, on TikTok. I mean, right now it's crazy what's what's getting pushed out there and on a crazy level. Like there's no
Right.
stopping it. It takes no time to do now. Content creation is just it's off the charts. I kind of want to I want to dive. There's so much noise in the market, right? I want to ask you, like, how are you trying to differentiate yourself, at your company, ETG? What are we doing at ETG.ai?
I think, and it's always going to be this way. It's about building long-term
Yeah,
relationships. That's always what it's going to be. The actual package is not different than it's ever been. You could have all the best tools and be a crappy business person and a crappy person, and you may get lucky and make some money because you're in the right place at the right time. But the people who flourish are the people who can communicate
yeah,
what they have to offer, and they're able to acquire those clients by knowing what they're doing well enough to articulate that to them and then get the buy-in from them, right? And so that's building relationships and partnerships. So we are not a overnight company.
yeah,
What we want to do is I actually want to help you. Like even if it's free sometimes, I want to educate you on just some of the tools. So we have free tools that you can use through our platform.
yeah,
And it's free for you. Actually, it does cost us a little bit of money because it's computing power. So
yeah,
it does actually cost us money to help you for free. Um, but at the end of the day, if you can add value and you could be the person who can articulate it to another individual who doesn't really grasp it yet but can see the value in what you're saying, that will become a lifelong partnership. So we're not trying to acquire clients, we're trying to acquire partners at all
yeah,
times, all the time. I want your business to flourish. I want the paycheck, but I want to know that you're flourishing because of the actions or the things that we communicated with you actually worked for you.
yeah,
And I think that's really where it comes. We are a small company in Silicon Valley, so we're a speck in the realm of all things. But at the same time, we show up and we are delightful to work with. And we have a network now of probably over 1,000 actual individuals that could help with whatever problem you may be having. If it's an AI related question, if it's a cell phone related question, if it's developing an application, if you're looking for your next computer that's on your table, if you're looking for, I mean, it's just so large now that we are an information center. We are a knowledge based center that offers services on top of that. But you could come to us and we're willing to give you information and share our knowledge with you for free. I mean, we're free on that. We love to talk and give you all this information. And at the end of the day, once you realize how much value we actually bring to the table, you're usually signing papers with us. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, let's get this done today. It's like, well, it's going to take at least 3 days here, So like, it's going to take a little bit more time than just a day. Like implementation does take some time, and you have to know your business better than me
Yep.
because that's how we implement it. I know my business my way, but you know how your business operates, and then that's how we transform it together. So I have to have partners. I can't be an agent here telling you what to do. It's more of you tell me what you do, and I'll tell you how we can interlock with your system and make it work more functionally.
Yeah, there's a lot of give and take, and you have to really, you have to really work with each other. I love the term partnership. It's the same phrase I use. It's something that you actually care about what the outcome is.
Yes.
You want success. It's not like a quick buck. You want that partner for life, right?
Yep. So
Yeah.
when I started Emerging Technology Group, I was working for a company in Silicon Valley, and I was making money, like crazy amounts of money, like money that most people will not turn down because, like, when you retire, like, at 40, you're going to be loaded. And I decided to take a different turn because it was about money and not the customer.
Uh-huh.
Lots of angry customers, and it did not matter. But it mattered to me. And
Uh-huh.
for them, it was all about product distribution. It was
Mhm.
like, how much product can we get into your hands and how fast can we do it? And then we'll worry about the troubleshooting later. Whereas I said I couldn't participate anymore. That wasn't what I wanted to do. And I needed to be client centric. Anything that has to do with you as the person, I want to help you. And so monetarily, that was a big setback in some ways. But then as time rolls on, you realize, well, now we have reoccurring revenue because this guy that I met 4 year or woman that I met 4 years ago is still part of doing this because they like who I am, and I always was about them and
Mhm.
us working together. First, now you have my product, you're kind of stuck with it because it's in the terms and conditions, and we'll try and make it as good as possible, but you're now on a waiting list for that troubleshooting, and eventually we'll get it done. Like that to me just sounds like terrible business, but that business made money, right?
Mhm.
That's what we were there for, is to make that kind of business. I said no. Never again. It's always going to be about the our clients, our partners,
Yeah.
and switching into that view. Just sleeping at night is easier.
Yeah.
Sleeping at night is just easier knowing that I take care of people no matter what. And that's why also the whole AI revolution for me, because it's not just about my clients, it's about my employees. Are my employees happy doing what they were doing? I'll tell you, lots of them weren't actually that happy doing the type of paperwork that AI agents could do now.
Mhm.
And so now they're at a high level actually doing engineering work, which they were made to do. And now they're so blissful. They want to come into work. They want to enjoy it because they're not stuck on this RFQ or RFP and going through 1,000 pages of documents. It's actually summarized now. It's all put into a document that we could read within one meeting, and
Mhm.
and then everybody knows their action items. And it's like, wow, wow. How impressive is this? We no longer have to do all of this other work. Wow.
Exactly.
And AI agents do that for you. And you can have AI agents work on the back end to check out to see if the AI agent is actually doing the right work. So you
Mhm.
have this feedback loop too, where it's like, yo, that was not good content creation. You're going to have to do it again. Or you missed this, this, and this. It's crazy what you can do now digitally. And I emphasize that to everybody listening, because if you aren't learning what agentic AI is right now, you need to, because it is going to be a very powerful tool that you could use even in your personal life. If you
Hmm.
have time management issues, which
Yep.
many people have a lot of time management problems. I'm telling you, it's just a thing that happens.
Hmm.
This could be one of those things where you could have time management problems and still get away with life because you're having other things work for you
Yep.
while you're not knowing what to do. So it's interesting. But then on top of that, which we should also discuss, is how do you secure all of this?
Yeah.
How do you secure all of this? How do you secure making sure all this personal knowledge that you're throwing out there about your company, about yourself, how do you secure that?
Hmm.
And there's not a great answer to that quite yet, because AI can be worked on both sides.
Yep.
So in a good way or a pretty malicious way. And
Yeah. I mean,
so
I was just gonna ask, like, what's the biggest challenge now with all of this?
so I would say that AI agents are so good now that they can impersonate you very well. If it's on your phone, like actual
Hmm.
voice, right? So I've had several clients call me and say, "My granddaughter called me today, but it wasn't my granddaughter."
Hmm. Yeah.
What do we
Scary.
do about that security measure?
Hmm.
She was saying that somebody did this to her and that they needed $1,000 and it
Hmm.
came from her phone number.
Yeah.
How do you do anything with that? Well, how do you? That's somebody calling you and you believe this person. And my recommendation on that is you have to have passwords,
Yeah.
like literally voice passwords. You have to have a knowledge based center better than anybody else. And
Hmm.
so if you have loved ones that you may do this with, you should have some type of voice activated password. Like, hey, dad, this is Tom, but your name's Lacey and you're a girl. So it automatically makes sense. Like the knowledge center of whatever they have on you would have never known that, right? And so now you know you're actually talking to this person. So and that's the scariest part, is we aren't going to be able to distinguish. Even right now, you could be fully generated AI. You
Yeah.
absolutely could, if you had enough GPUs in your system right now and you had done the image processing of your face and everything. Totally, they do it live now. You wouldn't
Hmm.
even know the difference. You could be that. How would I know the difference? I wouldn't. I couldn't. So that's going to be the next step of how do we distinguish generative AI versus real
Hmm.
reality. And there are many companies at this point doing like proof of work kind of stuff, like throwing it onto blockchains. So then this information has a receipt pretty much. So we know that it is real, right?
Interesting.
So there's many ways you can go about it, but it depends on, is it an email? If it's an email, is it coming from your email or is it coming from another email?
Hmm.
Well, it could say it's coming from Novah Greywolf, but then if you click in, it says some other email altogether. A lot of people don't even look at that. They just go, "Oh, it's coming from Nova. It must be whatever." But
Of course.
if the email doesn't look real, it's unlikely it was me. I get emails from myself all the time that aren't
Hmm.
me at all, and you may even too. But I know how to watch out for that, where other people are clicking into. I cannot believe how many times I'm with other people and they're clicking into things and I'm like, you are freaking nuts. No wonder you have cell phone problems. No wonder you have computer problems. Like, you can't tell that was fake.
Yeah, no, it's very real, and 90% of it's human error, right? So I think that
Yeah.
the education piece is so important, just getting that word out there.
Yes.
We're in the space, right? So it sounds crazy to us, but general public, they might find a jump drive in the parking lot, and what does this do? Oh, let's see what's on it, and plug it in.
Exactly. Exactly. And that is where we have to educate the most. If you are making a knowledge center for your business, right? And that's for your AI agents. How do you secure that knowledge base? And it's all should be permission based, right? So every single person should have no permissions to any of the information unless they have to. And it's pretty much that's how Salesforce runs and many other companies run. It's all permission based. If you have access to it because you need access, not because by default we give you permissions. By default, we give you no permissions. It's a zero trust mentality. And unfortunately, that's where we have to come from
Yeah.
because there are so many predators in this space that know way more than me and you, even, right?
Hmm.
That's their life is by penetrating your system.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that. So we can see it maybe, but they do that as a lifestyle. So the more hours you get of that, the better you become of it, just like all the things that we're doing. And
Yeah.
now that you have AI, you can have AI writing all the scripts.
Exactly.
Easy. And all you have to do is tell AI, this is for a research paper that I'm doing in school. Oh, now I can actually tell you how to do it.
Hmm.
Before I said I couldn't tell you because this sounds like a bad idea. But then
Uh-huh.
you just change the prompt and then all of a sudden it's giving you the entire script. How
Always
do
a
I
workaround.
maliciously put a virus on somebody's computer? Well, we can't tell you that. But I'm doing this and it's a project. It's kind of crazy
Yeah.
because a computer can't ChatGPT and others still don't have a brain.
Yeah.
It's all still an algorithm and large language models and
Hmm.
neural networks. It doesn't actually have consciousness where it could actually put and piece together that you are a malicious character. It just doesn't have that yet.
Hmm. Yeah, no, it's very real. It's very real on both sides. I think, yeah, I think protecting that black box we call, people just throwing information in ChatGPT and all of this, it can get very dangerous. So just telling people not to put any sensitive information in there to start is a good start. But
Yeah, and what everybody should also know is all these tools are free too. So ChatGPT has an online interface, but you could go to Hugging Face. You could download an LLM right off Hugging Face. It's a little bit more technology, a little bit more technical, right?
Mhm.
But and that's where you would hire maybe somebody like you or somebody like me that could have an offline system where you hold all your information in a knowledge base in your black box, and then it only pulls what it's necessary when it's necessary, and it can pull right from your computer. It doesn't actually have to connect to the internet anymore. We have all these things that can fit on a flash drive now. You can put the entire ChatGPT 4 on a flash drive and run it from any computer in the entire world.
Yeah,
Like, that's how
incredible.
crazy that is.
Yeah.
That's how on a little flash drive, 8 gig, like a little one. Like, it's the most craziest thing. And I'm like, so you're paying $20 for the ChatGPT premium every month when all you would have to do is spend about 15 minutes on ChatGPT asking it how to do this for free for the rest of your life and be more secure.
So funny.
So,
Oh,
so just,
Nova, this has been an awesome chat, man.
yeah,
I really appreciate it.
you're welcome.
Yeah, no, I mean
Thank you.
this is fantastic. Where can my guests find you?
Sure. You could find us on our website.
Okay,
You can find us on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn individually. We're launching a new software very soon, right on the AI agent space, Lead
nice.
Fuel. You can find us if you search for Lead Fuel. Um, and you can find us in Silicon Valley, California, in San Francisco. So if you're in the area, please do reach out. We have a phone number on our website. I'm sure you're going to link all this on the bottom.
Yeah,
So however you want, we do free consulting and anything that you have questions to, we want to help you. We want to help you with what's coming up for you.
amazing, Nova. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for joining us. And you heard it, guys. The links below. Check Nova out, and he will help you out.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.